Hey everyone, it's Bradley Bush with another algebra video for you. Today we're talking about horizontal and vertical lines. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. I'm thrilled you're here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and I hope this is helpful. If it is, please consider subscribing. I would love your support. Understanding horizontal and vertical lines. There is some confusion with horizontal and vertical lines. Students often confuse the equations for horizontal and vertical lines with the x and y coordinates of a point. You know, a point has x, y coordinates. So you have an x and y coordinate, right, in a point on your graph. Students often confuse the equation of horizontal lines and vertical lines with these x and y coordinates. So let's discuss this. Hopefully by the end of this, you can see clearly between the two, and there won't be a problem for you. So horizontal lines, to start with that first. The normal equation of a line is ax plus by equals c. That's just how you see it often. There's an x, there's a y, and there are three constants, a, b, and c. Those are just real numbers. So for horizontal lines, they don't have an x variable. So we take this term with the x and we get rid of it. We just have the y. So you often will see y equals some constant. And b is the number in front of the y. That could be a 1. It could be something else, in which case you would just divide both sides by that number and just get y equals some constant. You can also, instead of having y, you could also have the function f of x equals some constant. But this is actually the equation of a line. It's just like what we have up. It's just like the normal equation, but we've just gotten rid of it. It does not have the term with the x. It just has the y term and the constant term. Now, the way that you graph it is any point that has this y value is on the line. So we just connect all those dots. If we choose, as an example, y equals 2, then we need to come to y equals 2 and draw a line, which would be right about here. So we can look at this and say that's y equals 1, and here we have y equals 2. So if we looked at all the points on this, we can look at a bunch of different points, right? We could look at this point here. That would be the point 0, 2. So the y value is 2. We could look at this point. That would be negative 2, 2. Again, same y value. We could look at this point right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 2. So if you looked at all of these points that are on the line, notice they all have that same y coordinate. They all have 2 as the y coordinate. So we don't even need the x. The x is just irrelevant because it doesn't matter. As long as the y coordinate is 2, that point is on the line. So that's why we would express the equation of a horizontal line as y equals 2 in this case, or whatever that common y coordinate is. So that's really it for horizontal lines. This doesn't necessarily mean we're not just talking about the one singular 2, say this one in 3, 2, or this one. We're talking about all of them. They all, any point that has y equals 2, that's on the line. So we just have y equals 2 as our answer. That is literally the equation of the line. So let's look at the vertical lines. We have our normal equation, which is ax plus by equals c, and with the vertical lines, we have no y. So that means we take this y portion and we get rid of it. We just have the x and then the constant. If we looked at this in terms of an example, say our example is x equals negative 2. Where is x equals negative 2? Well, here x is 0. Here we have x equals 1, or sorry, negative 1. And the next hash mark would be x equals negative 2. So let's bring our ruler back and get 90 degrees and come back and draw a line at x equals -2. So here's our line x equals -2. Say we look at this one here, that is, what is that point? It's -2, whoops, -2 and 1. If we looked up here, this point up here would be 1, 2, 3. This would be -2, comma, 3. If we look down here, this point down here would be -2, comma, 1, 2, -2. And what do you notice about all of these? They all have the same x coordinate because all of them are on the line. The line's vertical, so they all have the same x equals -2. So we don't need the y. We can just write as the equation of the vertical line, x equals whatever that common x value is. So we write x equals -2 as our equation of a vertical line. So again, vertical lines, horizontal lines, they only have one variable. The horizontal line only has y, and it's just y equals whatever that constant is, whatever the common y value on all the points that are on the line. And the vertical line is x equals a constant, and that constant is whatever that common x value is on all the points on the line. And that's it. Hope this was helpful, and hope you have a great day.